fair game.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome to the pit, everyone. This is Fellavision, the mosh pit of movie podcasts.
That's fucking right.
Yeah. My name's Brian. I've never done anything wrong in my life. I'm joined today by my hosts and friends, JP, Chris Tharp.
What's
Guys, what's the drama, baby? What's going on?
You know what I said we were going to talk about? We're going to talk about it. We just recorded this entire episode, folks. We did an entire hour and a half, and we didn't record it. So I won't blame that on anybody. I'm not going to blame that on anybody.
You know,
but it didn't get recorded.
Everybody's guilty, you know.
Listen.
That's the drama.
We've had two producers on this podcast, both of them named Andy.
Yeah.
And I say we can blame either one of them for this because they're not here right now.
That's fucking right.
Yeah.
If Andy Nichols' dumbass weren't in Sweden right now, blowing billionaires, because that's his thing, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a big blowing of billionaires guy.
Big cuckoo energy
This would
coming
have
out
never
of this
happened.
guy.
Yeah, if I didn't just have to Venmo the love of my life $30 because I'm not going to make it home for dinner.
Why? What the hell? Why $30?
I felt bad, dude.
And also $30. You just do that whenever you're in trouble.
Delivery fees and tips.
Honestly?
You know, it comes to that.
Yeah, first
Oh,
off.
because you're buying your food. You're a thoughtful guy.
I bought her dinner, baby. Yeah,
You're a thoughtful guy.
This is why I'm good at movies. You know, I'm picking up what's happening. I'm following the breadcrumbs.
I went the other way. I thought you were just like paying penance to. I've made an error here. Here's some money to make you feel better.
Welcome to the Fellavision Relationship Advice Corner, fellas.
Yeah,
Just
if you're ever late,
$30.
just send $30. You know,
we save most of the relationship advice for Valentine's Day. But listen, if your girl's ever mad at you, man, just open up that Cash App, fucking send her a couple bucks. Yeah, 30 will do it.
30 specifically.
Yeah,
30
also,
covers
by
the
the way, you should have sent 40.
30's fine for one person.
That's a hell of a meal. I was like, I wish I had a $30 budget.
I don't know, brother.
Speaking of which, she just fucking texted me. Do not disturb.
$30
What's up?
was not enough.
Double entree?
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the week, y'all.
No, we're just going to ignore text messages from women right now.
Classic.
Let's catch up. Boys, who wants to go first?
Do we start off with
You know
drama?
what? I'll start.
Yeah, talk to me.
I did nothing this week except for the one thing that matters, and that is gaming, college football 25. That's right, we're back with another segment. Coach JP Mara, after 5 successful years at San Diego State, that's 5 national titles, right?
5 in
Went
a
all
row.
the way from Mountain West. They're Big Ten now. Switch conferences.
Unprecedented.
3-time Heisman winning quarterback. Drafted in the first round. I thought it was time to move on. I'm a Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, Blitz Bama Blitz head coach now. And that's where we are.
Follow-up question from Brian Criffield, Fellavision.
Yeah.
What do you give a piss about?
Nothing but the Tide.
All right.
And that's the thing. I was trying to give a piss about San Diego State. It wasn't working.
Didn't stick.
It does not
So
stick.
that's the only thing I did. What about you, Tharp?
Me, I'm a man who likes a deadline, and I signed up for drone school. I'm doing all this
Just
stuff.
drone school.
So I have a test coming up on Monday. Figure out if I'm going to be a drone
Why do you
pilot
need to go to
or
drone school?
Well, I'm doing online school.
But why? What does that do for you?
To become if I want to do anything in the commercial world, you have to have a license to do it, or the FAA hits you
Commercial
with,
filming you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's like $100,000 fine if they catch you filming
Without the
for
license?
That's so
profit.
much money.
It's so much money. They can do it up to $100,000.
Jesus
so,
Christ.
Fucking New Adam City.
Also, a lot of drone people are like dweebs and expensive. So I was like, I can fucking do that shit. So
Hell yeah. And then you can charge fools a lot of money to do
that's
it.
the whole thing is that I'm just trying to save some fucking cash.
Getting your tool belt expanded.
Yeah, it is way harder than I thought, and I got to learn how to do maps and all this bullshit. Like I'm an actual pilot. But instead of telling you guys about that, I just got my first piece of hate mail that I've ever received
Yes.
on my actual website. Somebody went into the contact page because I don't leave my fucking email out for just anybody.
Of course not.
And then they went borderline ballistic.
So they contact us.html your ass.
Yes.
And they sent you the funniest email I've seen. So this happened just before we hit record.
I was
Hit record the second time.
hit record
For
the
the
second
second
time. I
time.
was shook because JP's trying to run some ideas by me, and I'm like trying to make sense of what the fuck is going on.
All right. You know what? I think it's best if we just recreate this sucker.
Yeah.
So I will happily play the part of Michael. And for the folks who want to email him, it's michael@gmail.com or without an A. So it's MC.
After we figure this out, I'll probably have to bleep that.
So go ahead and email him. And let's just get started here. So he filled out the form, right?
Yeah, I was like, his name is in the form.
It's a contact form, and there's a subject, and the subject is your douchebaggery, which is incredible. So subject, your douchebaggery.
Yes.
Message, fuck you, fucker. Uncool is your fucking middle name, which, by the way, got your ass.
Yeah.
Uncool is your middle name.
This man's cooking right now, to be honest.
I'm in high school and this guy is like fucking dissing me right
Yeah,
now.
let's start there. Fuck you, fucker. Hits so hard. Uncool is your fucking middle name. Also hits hard. And then he says, you are a bully. Cyber
It's
bully.
literally the first week of school and I'm already being called a bully.
Yeah, well, you
We're
are
back
a
to school.
bully. A cyber bully.
Okay.
Fuck you is what he says.
Space between the period and the...
Yeah, he wants you to know you are a
Yeah.
bully, a cyber bully. Fuck you. Sam and Scraggs should kick your ass in. Kick your ass in.
Dude, kick your
you
ass in
fraud.
is crazy.
Yeah, they shouldn't just kick your ass. They should kick it in, which means
Yeah.
like cave your ass in.
I mean, that's a lot of kicks from Sam and Scraggs, and I was like, Sam's
Yeah.
not going to kick my ass in.
Well, he's gonna kick you. Scraggs will.
Scraggs might, though. I'm a little bit worried about
And
Scraggs.
then he says, fuck you, you fraud. How is your poisonous wife that no one likes, and yet I'm the only one to tell that amongst your sycophants? You ugly fat fuckface with zero education. You ugly fat fuckface with zero education. He's fucking you up.
I mean, I'm not doing well on my tests in the drone program right now, but this guy's really coming at me.
And then, of course, he has to sign this thing, and he signs it, New York City, my ass, you fuck. New York City, my ass, you fuck.
I mean, I do live in Brooklyn,
All
so
right.
I get where he's coming
Yeah,
from.
my ass.
So, Tharp, first reactions, how you feeling?
First
Well,
reaction.
first reactions,
take.
I was just like, I've been getting some business emails recently, so I'm like, oh, here we go, Squarespace. Here comes the email for some new work. Let me dive in, and I'm like, the fuck is this? The homie Sam is mad at me, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe it. And I was like, who the fuck is Scraggs? This guy
Watch out
sounds...
for Scraggs.
Scraggs seems like he's not a good dude. So I'm
Honestly,
a little
that
bit
is a
worried.
scary name.
So I was like, they're gonna kick my ass in.
They should kick it in, honestly, you fraud.
But I guess this is what I get for having a website where I have blinds in front of my face and I'm like peeking
Yeah.
through.
I think this
so
is
I
what you
definitely
get.
have
I'm of
some
the opinion that
cyberbully kind of energy.
This
going on.
has to be a mistaken identity. He says Scraggs, and he also says your poisonous wife.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
He's talking about Jane there,
I mean,
who's not your wife,
she's not my wife and she's
but
not
she
poisonous.
is poisonous.
I don't think so,
JP's
bro.
words, not mine.
Dude, she's out here stinging motherfuckers. Damn, dude.
Your sycophants is crazy.
Yeah, the
You're
sycophants
sycophants.
tells me
You're
that this
goons?
dude is educated because he used sycophants at me, and
Well,
I
he's
was
just
like,
the only one to tell that amongst your sycophants, you ugly fat fuckface.
so you guys are sycophants, so watch out.
Yeah, we're basically your goons. I do think that this is hate mail for Fellavision.
I'll beat the piss out of Michael.
Like,
That's not a
fuck you,
threat,
fucker.
YouTube.
Uncool is your middle name. Like, listen, we're trying to build something here. Thank you for listening. Sam and Scraggs, 2 of our fucking 20 listeners, whatever. Poisonous wife, me and Dar both boot up with lovely women, I would say. Sycophants, that's the squad. That's the boys who comment
The boys,
on all
we
our
are the
Instagram.
sycophants. That's the name.
Yeah.
That's the second name of this pod.
Yeah.
Ugly fat fuckface with zero education.
Couldn't be me.
I don't know who that's about.
I didn't
New York
drop out of
City,
high
my
school. We'll
ass,
talk about
you
that
fuck.
later.
Yeah, New York City, my ass, you fuck.
Yeah, let me just tell you, buddy, if this is coming for the fellas, we're in the fucking World
Let me just
Trade
tell you,
Center
pal.
right now.
Yeah, we're in the most American place
Yeah, I was
you
like,
can be.
I caught this email on like the highest point of like fucking New York City. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so back up. New
Yeah.
York City, my ass.
Back
you
up,
fuck.
you. Yeah, come at us.
We're getting demonetized, boys. Our 20 listeners aren't going to be able
You're
to
just
give
like,
us
fuck.
our
yeah.
0.00 cents. Yeah.
Actually, the algorithm loves a fuck, you know.
I don't think they do.
I will say, there's nothing as like kind of scary in the moment as a missent threat.
Yeah.
I've gotten a few like green bubble SMSs.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I'm a controversial figure.
Yeah.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
that's right.
But when you get those and it's like, oh, this is clearly meant for someone else.
Yeah.
It's like you're scared, but you're also like, how'd you get my phone number? And also like, if you can be wrong about a phone number, can you also be wrong about like pulling up to my house and trying to beat me up?
Yeah.
That's a good point. But also, he's doing it on the
I'm
contact
3 or
page.
4
of the
lines
pussy.
in, and I'm like, all of this checks out so far.
Yeah. I
And
am
then it was
a
like the
cyberbully.
poisonous wife, and I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
And I'm
man.
still processing it, but
All right.
yeah.
I got one from a few years ago and it straight up said like, you and your fucking girlfriend, you're matching Crocs. You think you're cute.
Oh,
That might be about you.
Yeah, I was like, that could
I
happen.
wear Hydro Mocs.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Well, people
different.
also mistake them for.
You would think, but yeah, folks. Fellavisionpod@gmail.com for any other feedback. Don't go to Tharp unless you are looking
don't
for
go
a music
to
video.
don't go to my
commercial.
website if you found it and go through the fucking submissions form.
Let's just keep it business. Let's just keep it business.
Strictly
is business.
business.
Strictly business.
Strictly
on this podcast.
Saucers, Razzle Dazzle 5-inch, Locking Out Records.
That was a sick record.
Keep going.
Keep going on what?
I keep going.
Yeah, you
keep going on
Righteous
locking out.
Jams?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah,
Jaguars with a Z.
Yeah. Mental. Let's go.
Justice. Fuck, boys. Okay. I guess
What
I'll,
did you do this week?
I guess
Oh,
I'll fill
yeah.
you in. I was pitting earlier because I was still coming down from going to see Slipknot
Hell
on
yeah.
Monday. MSG, sold out show. Fucking awesome. They didn't play any songs from anything past 1999, which, as an Iowa head, LP2, I was a little. I missed some songs, but they brought out the original red jumpsuits. They were going crazy. It was pretty fucking good.
So from RIP, were they? Let me ask you a little bit. This is Slipknot history.
Yeah, break in.
Hour, minute. Were they always wearing masks? Was that off RIP?
I think that was before even like the record came out.
Okay.
They were like that was part of the OG.
So LP1, they were on the mask shit.
On Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, which is the EP that cost them $40,000 to record by themselves.
That was their first record.
That was basically like it's their demo, kinda, but
So they pay. Are they an industry plan? Is what you're telling me right now?
They're not.
40K.
no,
Where'd
they
they get
spent
that from?
$40K. I mean, like that's just passion, baby.
well, that's also like what you think about like recording costs now, and it's like, oh, you just go to your homie and he has GarageBand and he makes you take your shirt off and scream in an office on Spotify.
That would never be me.
But back in the day, the shit was all analog, and that shit cost money. So like,
Not
in order to do
40
it
grand.
right,
yeah,
no,
put that
for a
shit to
demo.
tape.
it was
these guys
basically
not
like
punk? What the fuck?
It was a self-funded first EP release, and
Okay.
who knows, maybe that number like
Inflated.
exactly
It
like
could have ballooned, like after you try to record 9 people doing something, all of a sudden the
if you
price
could
has
ask
gone
Andy
up.
Nickel what he's paying for his demo, you'd
I was
be
gonna say, he might be
you'd
in that
close
same
to
ballpark.
40K.
he might be reaching up.
Yeah,
reaching
he's
there.
up there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so it was sick.
it was pretty good. Yeah, I had a good time. I was able to
Did the
get
clown hit the keg?
a couple times.
Hell yeah.
Although you could kind of tell that those dudes are getting up there, a little old.
He hit it not as hard as he used to.
Yeah, they weren't doing the stuff from the Wait and Bleed music video.
I saw
if anyone's
Slipknot
familiar.
one time. It was during Ozfest. Speaking of this movie we're about to talk about, which we haven't even introed at all. The movie we're about to talk about deals with 8th grade into 9th grade. 8th grade into 9th grade for me. I went to Ozfest that summer and Slipknot played, but I was at the PS2. It might have been PS3. I can't remember. I think it was PS2 truck playing Madden while Slipknot played right next to me.
Dude, life has not changed.
So it was pretty
You're
fucking sick.
probably
actually.
playing
It's so
football
true.
while he was watching
I
fucking
definitely
Slipknot.
was.
You could have been at Slipknot
That's so
MSG, but you
cool.
were playing football.
Holy shit.
Bringing it back a little bit, I saw Slipknot in 2005 on their world tour with Lamb of God, Shadows Fall, and Sworn Enemy. If you guys are familiar with
Oh,
Sworn
I know
Enemy.
it's one enemy.
That might have been the same fucking tour. They probably played Ozfest because both of those bands played Ozfest
Like
that year.
splintered off.
Maybe.
into
Sworn
their-
Enemy being like, why is Sworn Enemy on this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that also lines up with like my nostalgic like first year of high school feelings on this for sure.
Yeah.
But that's funny that
Crazy.
we're like living parallel lives. Everything repeats, folks.
Yeah, it's not like I've grown in any sort of way.
Yeah.
meaningfully.
We will tell you what movie we're doing this podcast on in 1 second. But before we do that, I wanted to go into some movie news from the week. And the latest drama revolving Joaquin Phoenix. You guys like Joaquin Phoenix? I feel like
I'm a
we're
huge Joaquin
I was
fan.
just
Shout out
like,
to Joker, dude.
Napoleon without Joaquin is not a movie worth talking about, but Joaquin made it worth talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
I love
definitely
my
our
boy.
favorite part of that movie. But he's on the hot seat this week, folks, because
So I've heard.
he dropped out of the latest Todd Haynes production 5 days before it was supposed to start filming.
Todd Haynes.
Todd Haynes, May, December.
May, December, incredible
I'm not
movie.
there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm not there, rocks.
Yeah.
I am there with May, December because it was so
You
good.
saw May, December, right?
Yeah.
I think when we talked about our favorite movies of last year, I think,
Spilling the beans on that movie would be crazy.
yeah. So I got to watch that movie again. That fucking, dude, the hot dogs.
Oh yeah, dude, what a fucking flick! Shout out to my boy from Riverdale, dude.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
We love
your fucking
Riverdale on
guy.
this podcast.
Quite the flick, quite the director, very esteemed. But what we're hearing is that Joaquin dropped out. No one really knows why. It could be personal health reasons or anything like that. But the scuttle, the drama suspected is that this is, folks, this is a gay movie.
And not like it's bad, because being gay is not bad. We're not saying gay in the
Preach.
derogatory way right now.
Preach, brother.
We're not saying gay like that.
Yeah, don't say gay, Bill.
Don't say gay like that, Bill. We're saying gay is in like two dudes doing it type movie.
Two dudes loving each other.
I did see a casting photo of the his partner in this movie. It's supposed to be like a gay detective film. Again, not saying gay in the way
Like,
of like
it's not
being
like a gay
it's
detective.
gay is good thing.
Are they partners or
Like
partners?
dudes doing it gay
No,
type
but I mean,
of detective
is
movie.
it two? Are they doing stakeouts together? Or are they doing stakeouts?
I saw a
together?
pic of this guy in his fucking underoos.
Oh, really? So they did like a whole thing for this already?
I think it was just a photo of this actor.
Oh,
But he
Oh,
was
so
like,
this is just an underwear pic. He was just like, I'm not going into work today.
he was kind of doing one of those like shot put poses where like one of his arms behind. It's like a back shot.
Like a sick ass flex.
Yeah, he's about to throw the discus.
God damn, that's a sick
yeah.
flex. If I had muscles, I'd hit that all the time.
For dude,
Fucking one of those.
yeah, one of those.
I watched
But
Love Lies Bleeding last night. Anyway, go ahead.
so fucking good.
She poses crazy in that movie. Keep going.
Joaquin, what's up, dude? We're trying to figure out why you did this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
were you sussed out? Be honest, dude. Just be honest with us right now,
Did
dude.
you get addicted to
Hey, yo.
humping chicks in Napoleon when you were filming that?
Fast as hell, like a little rabbit.
Yeah, like, or,
What else happened, dude?
well, is it possible that Joaquin is still in Joker mode?
I think he's still in Joker.
Dude. Yeah, I remember, so yeah, he could be sick.
Folks, it's about to be fall. It's about to be Halloween. And before Halloween, it's about to be fucking Joker 2 with
That's
Lady
right.
Gaga.
Part Deuce
Yeah.
Ducks.
Maybe he's
So-
locked in. Heath Ledger got locked in.
I mean,
To a fault, one would say.
Yeah, he got locked into the role. Maybe Joaquin's
Did Jack
sick and
Nicholson
twisted.
ever come back from
Do
the
your
role?
sick and twisted, but Australian, real quick. What was it?
What?
Dark and twisted, whatever it was. What did you say?
I'm so dark and twisted.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Yeah. Hello.
Dark and Twisted.
Yeah, so maybe he's sick and twisted right
Maybe
now.
he's too twisted and he just decided to take it out on fucking Todd Haynes. Let's hope
Just does
that
the Joker
residual...
laugh and runs off
Yeah.
screen.
Dude, he's doing the fucking gay sex in the Joker makeup. That'd be crazy. Again, that's fine. That's the movie news of the week. Thank you for rocking with us. Joaquin, let's get it together, bro. Listen, apparently the studio could lose
7 figures.
7 figures, is what I'm hearing. Is that what you're
I'm
hearing?
hearing 7 figures.
All right.
That's a lot of fucking money. Hopefully they just replace him.
Well, you would hope, but apparently the movie got greenlit because Joaquin was attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is currently greenlit. What are they going to do?
I mean, you
Totally.
can roll it. Like, I mean,
Ungreenlit?
you could just take a bunch of the budget. I mean, like, if
Who's
he
replacing
leaves,
him?
you pay the person who fills his spot half price.
Who do we think?
One of
Gay
the-
detective. Who can play a gay detective in
Challengers.
2024?
Challengers.
What's his
gang.
name from,
Rat Boy?
Josh O'Connor.
Yes.
Yep,
Or
Josh
Mike Feist.
O'Connor. Could,
Either one of them.
Mike Feist
Either
could be
one of them.
good. What's his name from Ripley / All of Us Strangers?
Oh, fucking
Andrew
Moriarty.
something.
Yeah, dude, I only know his actors.
That guy rocks. He could
Yeah.
definitely play a gay detective.
Yep.
Anyway, just comment down
yeah.
your gay detectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next
Easy
time,
to find.
Yeah, next time
There's
hire
plenty.
a gay guy. We won't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
All right, switch it up. It's time
Back
to
to
tell
it.
you guys what movie we're talking about today.
Uh-huh.
And that movie is Dìdi.
Dìdi.
2024 movie, directed by Sean Wang. In theaters this week, nationwide. Had a limited theatrical release before that. Let's get right into it. So this is Sean Wang's first feature film, his
Yeah.
debut. He's a Taiwanese-American filmmaker. He's from Fremont, California. Over the past decade or so, he's been making his bones with short films across the internet, some of them which have been, gotten proper distribution, but this is the first time that he's making a feature film. It's semi-autobiographical. It reflects on a young boy going from middle school into high
Why
school.
was that weird? Why was it weird?
It was
is
weird
about a young
because I
boy.
held
It's about
it. And
boyhood.
well, the thing is, I
You did hold
realized I was about to bean spill, and I don't want to bean spill until later. Folks, stick around for
Okay.
spill the beans coming.
But you held on a
imminently.
weird part, I will say.
I did hold on a weird part, but Yeah, he had done documentaries, short films. He went to film school at USC.
Again, we don't fuck with USC. Roll Tide. Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
Yeah. But this film premiered at Sundance in 2024. It won the Audience Award. Previous winners for that include Minari, Hustle and Flow, Whiplash, all bangers.
All bangers. Hustle and Flow. Definitely a banger.
Hustle and
Classy.
Flow won like Oscars and
Yeah,
shit.
it's so good.
You ever see Hustle and Flow?
I was like, I never
Yeah, of
saw
course.
Hustle and Flow.
Whip that trick?
Dude, yeah. Just rapping.
Terrence Howard?
Dude, Terrence, I've watched so many clips recently
I was like,
of him rapping in that movie that are
Really?
so fucking funny and outdated. It's so good, but
Ter-
the movie rocks.
Terrence Howard's an interesting cat. We should do
I was
it.
like, he's definitely having a moment last month.
Yeah, he went Jim Carrey on us.
A little bit crazier than Jim Carrey, but
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So you guys, did you have the time to spend a few minutes and catch up on some of these short films? Yeah.
I saw both 3,000 Miles and was it Nini
Nine
Nine Mapo. The 3,000 Miles one is fulfilled one of my dreams of being a Vimeo staff pick. You know, that was like
Oh, the badge.
the
The staff pick
sign.
darling.
Yeah, being a staff pick darling has always been a dream that I've never been able to obtain, even though
Let's get there today. Let's get there this
I
year.
mean, I still got Vimeo. I still pay for the trash.
Yeah, but you could be 2024 staff pick if you want
right
to.
now there's no staff. Like
Maybe this podcast.
this might be on it. Actually, we're not. Check us out on Vimeo.com.
Yeah, Vimeo.com/Fellavision
We're definitely
pod.
an art podcast now. So that the 3,000 miles thing. A bunch of voicemails left by his mother. The first year he lives in New York, he films a bunch of like serene kind of moments in New York City. People are popping bubbles, hanging out in the park, all this stuff, and it's like, you know, very artfully kind of shot. And it's
Not
kind of-
evil John Wilson.
It is not evil. It's
nice-
the
is it
exact
nice John
opposite.
Wilson?
It
The
is
inverse
definitely the nice John Wilson. So bizarro John Wilson.
Evil John Wilson be like, my mom loves me.
Yeah.
My mom loves me.
Oh my god! If John Wilson made like this same movie with his mom's voice, that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I feel
Run
like.
it back.
I'm out.
He's like 17 miles.
Yeah, I'm gonna log into his website and send him an angry email telling him to do this.
You fraud.
You fucking fraud! New York, my ass.
How did you stumble upon Nene Mapo?
Nene Mapo.
WIPO.
WIPO?
My bad, Wipo.
WIPO. I bought him. Basically, the homie Jeff told me about this short film, and I'm like, yeah, we're on the train. I'm definitely gonna remember this. I get home, it's front page of fucking Hulu, and I'm like, holy shit, Jane. I said I was gonna watch this fucking short film.
And here it is.
And guess what? We're looking for something to watch. And then it basically watched a beautiful film about two grandmas that made me almost cry.
You didn't get there?
It didn't, 9 minutes.
I'll tell you, you
maybe
did
11
get there.
minutes.
Yeah.
The Academy, because this shit was nominated. They
It
wept.
was a beautiful film.
Letterboxd review. This is 2 less grandmas than 80 for Brady.
Damn, that's a goated review.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I was kind of surprised to live in a world where both Hulu and Disney are promoting a short film. I'm like, what kind of world are we living? Like, you can't even get your family to watch your short films, much less have fucking Disney and
Two
Hulu
streaming
fucking
giants.
pumping it out to people. So I was like, we're living in a brave new world, you know?
Do I need
Pretty
to break
nice.
the news to you guys that Disney and Hulu are the same
Oh, the
thing?
same company, yeah. You didn't need to
Hey,
break
but
that to me.
they're on.
And
But I mean,
ESPN.
to be on both apps on the
That's
home
pretty good.
screen
That
is
is
like
that is different. Different
that would be a
content
dream.
teams.
I
I
was
wouldn't.
like,
Well, Hulu. To break up, they've started putting their entire library on Disney Plus because they kind of realize like, why are we doing this? I know this
I agree.
because
Why are they doing that?
I have the bundle.
So do I.
Yeah.
This was
Bundle
also
boys.
a few months ago that I saw this, so this was like, you know,
Before
it
before
wasn't
the
as
merger.
Before the big
bundly. It was before when Saw went on Disney Plus. So
Oh, that's crazy as hell.
Before I had to remove my R-rated filter to watch Get
Yeah,
Back on
yeah.
Disney Plus. Fucking
so
losers.
yeah, that like I want a fucking movie to be on fucking Tubi. Like I can't even make front page.
Let's get a
Tubi
movie
at
on
this point.
Tubi this year, dude.
Dude.
Let's
front
do
page
it.
Tubi.
Let's get a movie on
Let's go.
Tubi. We can get it.
I can do it.
The Hotline TNT biopic. We already talked about this.
We already
Yeah.
have it, and I
We're
would
shooting that.
if we could shoot
It's in
that
production.
and put it just make it front page or even like just
Get
doesn't
us
have to be
up there.
big. It's just a little one.
Come on, Tubes.
The Hotline movie.
Call 'em Tubes.
Let's go. Fellavision.
But yeah, I saw another one that Sean Wang made called Hags, and it's just like an 8-minute New York Times posted mini doc where it's actually, so Dìdi is about it's sort of, like you said, semi-autobiographical story about the transition from 8th to 9th grade and the life that he led during that. But Hags is about his actual 8th grade. It's based on his 8th grade yearbook. So the whole thing is shot. It's just pages of his 8th grade yearbook and him voicing over it. And he's calling the people that signed his 8th grade yearbook. A lot of the folks that are in this movie, Dìdi, are based on the real people in this mini doc. So Fahad, his best friend, is in it, and it's really fucking good. It's like clearly about like how you went from this to adulthood. Here's all this time that's passed. Is it everything you thought it would be, et cetera? So it's really cool. It's very short. You guys should check it out. And it actually spawned what is now Dìdi, the full script, and now his directorial debut. So I thought it was sick. It's a really good precursor. If you have the time and you haven't seen Dìdi, watch that first and then
watch it on the train.
Dìdi. Yeah, watch it on the train
where it's
movie.
meant to be seen.
Yeah.
Or if you're driving, drive and hold it
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Yeah, just throw that up on the CarPlay. If you rig it out
on the heads-up display.
Yeah. So you guys have seen some of his work in like a word or two. What's like the vibe or like the sort of like what's it evoking? Is it like sweet? Like
yeah, no. So he's definitely like it's very like tender storytelling, from what I can tell, and it seems like a lot of his work centers around his like identity as a Taiwanese American. Like it's very much so rooted in that 99 Waipo about his grandmother's, obviously to deal with his like identity, and same thing in this movie Dìdi, and then same thing even in the short Doc Hags. It's like talking about being an Asian American and how like being a child of immigrants.
Do you agree?
I agree. This might be tied into his career, but like those like feel good kind of Google commercials, like somebody like sending like emails to their kids and doing like blowing out candles and shit like that. It kind of has that like I don't want to say it's not exactly found footage, but like that kind of like shooting the screen and like doing different things. It's like using audio recordings and stuff like that. It's like it's not like traditional filmmaking, but then you can like bundle it and there's like this like crazy authenticity to that kind of thing, to like use scraps of your life to like make something.
Yeah, and
touching.
I think it's like great attention to detail. We'll get into that when we talk about like how well he presented the timepiece of 2008. But even in Hags, like I didn't catch it at first. About halfway through, I realized like there's a lot of typography on the screen while he's talking, and it'll be like what somebody's saying or whatever, and it'll be the typography, and it's all just like typography from his yearbook. It'll be like the header that they use, the weird like leading character, he uses that, or like somebody's handwriting from the yearbook he turned into a font and
cool.
used it. So it's a lot of cool shit like that.
Authenticity is a good word for it. I feel like that kind of struck through to me in watching this movie.
For sure.
I'm not sure if it's just that like no one was really rocking with me like this, but
everyone was rocking with me in 2008.
Well, was Hags part of your vocabulary?
It was Haggis.
I definitely had Hags. I was like, I didn't get all my yearbooks, but I do believe I have the 8th grade one, and I definitely have Hags and some other.
If you wrote Hags in my yearbook, you were a poser. It was always Haggis. Have a kick-ass summer.
Yeah.
You weren't having a great summer.
You really did. Like, you're set up to go to juvie.
I was a bad boy.
I was like, that's some juvie energy. We were definitely saying Hags and, like, bubble glitter.
Nobody was
pens.
hagsing in Lake St. George Elementary or Carwise Middle School.
Imagine, like,
we were hackissing.
A fucking nerd, like, opening the yearbook and seeing, have a kick-ass summer and be like, no, like, being scared.
Yeah.
The one I would get was Lilas. You guys?
Oh, yeah. Lilas was one of them.
I really need to crack open my
what was that,
mine
Love
and
You
make
Lots?
No, Love You Like a Sister.
Love You Like a Sister, yeah.
It was all the girls trusted me, you know?
I do
that
love You Like a
real?
Sister, honestly.
Thank you, bro.
Did you really get hit with that?
No.
Oh.
But I would say it a lot.
I'll retroactively write that in all your yearbooks if you want me to.
Yeah.
I
Fellavision
bring
Lilas.
yearbooks back. Like, we need
You know what?
one.
Send me your yearbooks. I'll sign them.
I already brought
don't
the
give a
yearbook out for one episode of this
Oh
fucking
yeah, I was like,
podcast.
wait,
I can't do it
true.
again.
we should do a Hags film. We'll just like go through and we'll start calling people in each other's.
I never bought the yearbook because I wasn't a fucking nerd. Buying the yearbook is some
Dude,
nerd
straight
shit.
up.
But
Sucks.
Danny got to have that yearbook. So
Danny
we'll
has
go
the
over-
yearbooks,
he
probably.
knows the same people. We
He's
can ask the same
obviously
question.
a fucking nerd.
He'll be the placeholder for you.
I have
All right, before
my
we get
5th grade yearbook, and that's
Before we get too deep into the talking about our friends, let's spill the
Fuck
beans,
you,
baby.
man. The beans. I love spilling the beans.
Spill the DD beans.
Spilling the Beans is just a quick plot summary of the movie we saw. And you mentioned on the first time we filmed this episode that this one wasn't so good. So I'm going to try again. And I'm going to try.
Spice it up this time.
And you know what? You made a good point. It's hard to spill the beans on a good movie. It's so
clarify.
easy to spill the beans on a shitty movie.
Yeah. The beans being bad was not a fact. Like, we all like this movie. Let's just get that out of the way. But
Spoilers.
let's take two.
It's going to be more succinct. All right, so the beans on this movie. All right, so this movie opens up, right? And there's this kid, Chris, and he's this little zit-faced kid, Taiwanese kid who sucks, kind of. Like, you'll find out in the movie he sucks. He doesn't suck at the start, but you recognize that he sucks. He's this little shithead who has these little shithead friends that actually rock. There's a sick-ass scene where they're, like, walking through a field saying the tightest shit I've ever heard. Things that I unfortunately say today, they're ripping through it, and I'm having a great time. If you're on Call of Duty with me, I am basically soup in this movie. So we're having a great time ripping through, kids going to a pool party, which, by the way, there weren't many of those. There weren't many, like, parties in 8th grade for me. There was, like, a couple.
I was like, I went to some pool parties.
That was fun.
I didn't go to that many. Maybe I wasn't invited. I went to one at my girlfriend's house, Anne Marie. Anne Marie, I won't say her last name.
Anne Marie, I love you.
Back to the
Anne-Marie,
beans.
I love you so
Beans.
much.
Back to the beans.
I love you. Please come back to me. She had a pool. We had a couple. Actually, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Let's consider. Yeah, I was wrong. So, so they go to a party. They watch fucking Superbad in this movie. What an incredible, real moment for me watching kids watch Superbad in 2000. This is 2008.
Like the theater lit up.
Dude, I instantly was jealous of these children vibing watching Superbad.
You felt like Dr. Manhattan, just fucking like watching yourself in real time, just being like,
yes, legitimately, like, this is about to be some weird shit to say, and I don't give a fuck.
Oh God.
I, as the adult man that I am, 35 years old, would kill to be in that room with those kids watching that movie.
As yourself right now?
As me,
yeah.
literally as me today in that room, any version of me, kid me, now me,
Chilling
I want to be there.
soup.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hey,
just
yo,
talking
kids,
about Superbad with the
cracking
boys.
open. I guess this is a DVD at this point. I don't think
They're
we're
probably
watching
watching a DVD. Yeah, definitely. I just would have loved it. I would have loved it today. I would have loved it then. And that that was a moment for me watching that. And then, so this movie's basically like this kid systematically goofs it. He is macking on some girl. His Riz does not work, but she's still down with him somehow. They're in a playground about to fucking make out. And this kid fumbles the bag crazy on the nervous game. Loser. Dumbass. Then he's walking around with his homie who's got this girl that he met at the pool party who's like his girl. They're dating now, I guess. They're about to start dating. So it's that girl and her best friend with him and his best friend, Chris, who totally goofs, talks about a dead squirrel, fucking it up, blowing it up in a mailbox, which, by the way, all of that sounds sick, but he was scaring the host.
It is a great story sometimes scares the host.
Yeah, he was scaring the hose, and his homie was not happy with it. I think it ruined their friendship, at least for this summer.
Yeah, so, fractured because,
they dip out without him. They leave his ass at the fucking arcade. They say, get your ass out of here. You're going to Astro Skate by yourself, which I've done before, unfortunately. Shout out to Astro Skate Dance Room. That was where the real 12 to 13-year-olds went to have a good time. Those other kids had to stay on the rink. We went to the dance room.
Do you wish you were there also?
No. That stays then.
Okay.
So this kid goofs the girl that he likes, and there's some painful aim messages that you want to just fucking rip him out of the screen when he's about to send the message and he doesn't. That moment, I feel like that was the most real moment for everybody in the movie to be like, stop! What the fuck are you doing?
I can't believe typography worked so well. Like, just watching some letters type out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he fumbles the bag with his homies, fumbles the bag with his girl, meets a new crew of older children. I was about to say men. They're not.
Felons.
Some skaters who he thinks are cool as fuck because skaters are cool as fuck. Shout out Westside Skate Shop. Shout out Skate Park of Tampa, obviously. Real Tampa shit. And he wants to film for them. And this movie, like I said before, is just about him trying to work a camera most of the time, where he tries to figure out how to film skating. He does a terrible job, fumbles that bag. They hate him. So everyone hates his dumb ass. His mom, he's being a dick to her. And it's just about him, like, on the precipice of being a shithead throughout the whole movie because he's, like, transitioning into being 13, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it culminates with him going into 9th grade, having some conversations with his mom that are really touching and fun, and scene spilled the beans.
Nice. I was a little distracted. I was pretty harsh on your first bean spilling on the prior episode.
You were.
It was constructive criticism. It was feedback, so we could get to where we need to be.
How'd you feel about this one?
Well, my laptop died during it, so I had to switch to my phone. So I was not paying attention for the first half. I did see the movie, so I think you landed the plane beautifully, though.
Thank you.
It had some tangents in there, but there's a little bit of
No tangents.
your life sprinkled in the recipe of those beans.
No.
But
your life is in the beans.
Yeah, life is in the beans.
Talk about Das beans, dude.
Yeah.
Talking about Das life beans.
You would think this movie was called Everybody Hates Chris, but surprisingly not.
Dude, got his ass.
That was sick.
Beautiful, wonderful.
But yeah, them's the beans. That's what this movie's about, folks. Coming of age story about being in the middle school to high school transition.
Awesome. I think we can just start with first reactions on this. Chris, did you like the movie? What's up?
I mean, I thought that I liked this movie a lot, but the guy next to me, he liked the movie a little bit more than me.
This guy.
It's not me, to be
this
clear.
guy was not JP. JP was over here. So I'll just say that he's over here. But basically, there was a man laughing nearly as hard as I was at all the funny scenes. He was sometimes a little bit ahead, so I was like, smart guy. But then when it came to the
switched on.
But then this guy in the sad scenes completely lost it and was sobbing throughout roughly half the movie. So
Felt like he was going through something.
he definitely was
Maybe
going through
something
some shit. I was
experienced.
like, if anything, his name was Chris, and he had the same exact experience.
Yeah. It might have been Sean sitting next to you watching his own movie.
Yeah.
Just bawling.
Honestly, maybe it was him.
Dude, secret.
Just loves it so much that he just cries during it. Laughs the hardest,
Yeah.
cries the hardest.
Yeah.
One of the things that one of the fellas helped him sort out his problems at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I will say we got a guy who will scold you in a movie theater right next to me right here. Brian yelled at this kid for having his phone out during the credits of the movie.
It's not the first time it's happened either.
Yeah,
We didn't know
folks,
this guy was going to be switched on. I don't think you would have yelled at him if you knew he was going to be switched on. I think you would have given him grace.
Maybe, but the thing is that, listen, every real movie head knows that it's okay to be on your phone during the Speak No Evil trailer that you've seen fucking 5 times.
Of course I'm a bloody doctor.
Of course I'm a bloody doctor. Or the Alien Romulus trailer.
There's something in the fucking war.
Relief coming soon on the Romulus trailer because it comes out this week.
Yeah.
We're almost free, but we got another fucking month of the Speak No Evil trailer.
Yeah.
Jesus
Although they did
Christ.
offer us a recut.
Yes.
There's a new
Not
cut of it.
still shit. Still the worst.
Still sucks.
Yeah, but listen, the Nicole Kidman ad comes on, the production title cards hit. Your phone's got to go down. So
gotta go down.
The movie had been starting. He's still on his phone. He's on multiple messaging apps. And listen, I can tell when someone's making the moves. They're shutting the brightness down. They're going do not disturb. This guy was SMSing multiple people, and
Ripping
I just
off
had to be like,
texts.
"Hey man, would
Wait,
you mind putting your
SMS? He
phone
wasn't
away?"
even in iMessage?
It was
dude?
it was some
Well,
Android.
It was MMS.
Some
then.
Android
Oh,
nonsense.
damn. So, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I booked these tickets almost like a week in advance, and he was in a prime spot directly in the middle, so the gang had to surround this guy. I kind of thought that he would not even be there because I was like, who buys a single ticket? Maybe they'll move, maybe they'll sit somewhere else. No, he was just squatted up with us, and he joined
was
the
there
squad
early, so
pretty
was I.
well.
Yeah.
He had to be a little bit corrected, but it all worked out in the end.
He did add a positive to watching this movie, which
Yeah.
I cannot say for a lot of strangers in movie theaters, especially in New York City.
Yeah,
but,
it kept you locked in, dude.
yeah, but Lincoln Square is a place for cinema heads.
Yeah.
You got to
right.
know to put that phone away once the movie starts.
That's right.
That's all I got to
This
say.
Although
isn't-
it was the basement of Lincoln Square.
True.
Not the best.
I was a little bit surprised, but when I walked in, I was like, "This seems like a movie that might be in the basement. I better check."
I had a feeling.
I just had a feeling. I was like 9. That sounds like it could be a high number. Oh, that's a low number.
It deserved to be on the second
Yeah,
floor.
it deserves to be on the regular floor.
Don't put Didi in the basement like
Yeah,
that.
I do like
Lincoln
riding that
Square.
escalator with that rainbow film strip.
I
on
mean,
the
I went
top.
up there,
was
I'm
like,
not
that
gonna
shit's
lie.
pretty sick.
You just assumed.
I went up,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I had to go down.
I knew. I was like, this is one of the artisan ones. So
You got to go up
Maybe the
there for the
basement.
popcorn because the popcorn in the basement
Oh
feels
my
like
God, I
it's popcorn in
fucked
the basement.
myself so tremendously with that. I had by the way, I had a full thing of popcorn that I barely touched because it was stale. I put it on the ground. I was like, when I'm desperate, I'll go back to that. I got maybe 2 handfuls of popcorn in max before Jeff crossed and basically put his foot into the bucket.
Just,
like,
but
stood
knocked
in
it over. It was like one of those things. But I heard the pung, like
you just
I was
hear
like,
a
I heard a
waterfall of
lot of
popcorn.
contents, and it was like, during a quiet part of the trailer.
I don't even think he knows he did it.
Actually, it was also during the very beginning. So it's basically Brian's yelling at the kid to put away his phone, and then Jeff is just kicking the shit out of your
Jeff's going
popcorn.
for the extra point. Fucking
Dude, he
CFB.
fucking launched it. It was
Dude, it was-
insane. I don't think he even noticed. Dude,
No,
or if he
'cause
did, he didn't skip a beat.
I mean, I hit him with it. I dapped him up as he went by, but that was like I was dapping as he was kicking.
As he kicked?
So
Yeah.
it was bad news.
The funniest thing is that he came in from the right side of the
when he was sitting on the very
and he
left
was
side.
sitting on the other side, and like the doors on that
Yeah.
side.
Sometimes you make that mistake. You know? It
yeah,
happens to
he
the
did
best
not.
of
He
us.
did not count the numbers correctly on that one and went the long
Yes.
way.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
certainly
Kick the
did.
shit out of your popcorn.
He fucking demolished it. But thankfully, it was some bullshit stale popcorn. You're right. Go upstairs. Never get the popcorn from the basement of Lincoln Square. Solid rule.
And folks, this is a podcast about going to the movies, which is why we just talked about that for a
We're
little
going
bit.
to the movies, folks.
Yeah, this
We
is
haven't really
just
talked about much of the movie theater experience. I mean, trapped a little bit, but yeah, I feel like we really
I
went
love
into
how
the theater.
everyone
on
just
this
says trapped.
one. I can't stop.
Everyone says trapped.
Yeah, trapped.
Anyway.
But we did. Yeah, this is one of the movies that we did all see together in one sitting. We got wonderful Thai food after. Shout out Solid
Oh.
Thai in Lincoln
Oh,
Square.
that place
That was
fucking
great.
rocked.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's the spot to go to if you're up there.
Anyway, back to first takes. Hit us.
I loved it. I think that everything that you guys remarked upon hit with me. Felt extreme nostalgia for a very unique moment that I feel like it worked for me particularly because I knew what it felt like to be an awkward teenager struggling to maintain my friendships that existed and make new ones at the same time, and talk to girls sometimes and do this all on this old version of the internet that just straight up does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing that's like super unique about Dìdi and the reason that I think it's worth checking out for anyone listening to this somehow, if you haven't seen it, you're just waiting for our reactions on it.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Is that it uses this old version, this like nostalgic prehistoric version of what the internet is now as like a storytelling device. And it really works. Like not just because I see it and it like turns on the thing like, oh, I remember being on MySpace. Like, cool. It does a really good job of like, you experience character Chris's emotions and stuff like that through this. And I guess my question, you guys are a little older than me, old ass.
Chill out.
Did this work for you as well in the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was like a lot of like care put into this, and it's just like the amount of like detail that went into like all like the subtleties of like being offline, being online, blocking somebody, making sure that all those sounds were there was just like it really tapped into like this like crazy nostalgia, and you wouldn't think that like typing something out would create such an emotional moment, but it's like everyone has been in a position where they've typed something out and then deleted it and reworked it. It's like it still happens, but seeing it in that form and then just like I was like everyone can relate to that.
Yeah, everyone can feel it.
And I think it just worked out really well to like see it like presented in a way that was very authentic. Like they didn't like create a new aim or any of that. So they used everything that was there, like even the little like buddy icon that was like
insane.
pumping a Mountain Dew cane.
Fucking hell.
It was just like so cool to see that stuff. And it was like a little nothing detail for some people, but then it's an Easter egg for everyone who's fucking there.
When was the last time you thought about a buddy icon?
Before I get into that, I didn't even give my first take on this fucking movie. You guys skip me.
Oh boy.
God damn it.
You were
You skip me. Movie of the year, I think, so far.
Gauntlet Throne.
Incredible movie. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Definitely hits the top 5 coming of age for me, which we'll get into a little later. But yeah, I think this movie was so fucking good. And to your point about did it work from a storytelling perspective, I think like we are the perfect age group. Fuck you, we are older. But all of us are the perfect age group for this movie from a technology perspective to hit dead fucking on. Like you said, like the buddy icons, the different fonts that you can choose with the background colors in AOL Instant Messenger was so ridiculously dead on. The slamming of the door and people sign off.
That was huge.
That shit was, everything hit so hard.
They nailed the noises.
It was so good. And then like him realizing he's out of Fahad's top 8. Danny, you did that shit to me before.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Danny
my
Maziad, you did that shit to
God.
me before.
Folks.
Brother, you've taken me out of your top 8. Don't act like I fucking forgot.
All right, pause. I need
Fuck
you.
you.
We have a very Gen Z
fraud.
audience. I've seen the stats. Explain what a top 8 is to a 20-year-old.
All right, so listen, a top 8. You ever ranked your homies? You
All
ever
the time.
ranked the homies? Because
From
back
left
in the
to
day,
right, top to bottom.
back in the day, you had to fucking do that.
Fucking had to
It
do
used
it.
to be top 5, by the way.
I remember
It
when
used to be
yeah.
top 5. You didn't have top 8.
I mean, top 5 is a little bit more realistic because like that 8th spot sometimes.
Well, they wanted
that
to
was
give you
like-
some more space.
Yeah, but I was like, sometimes you're putting people in
You put
there
your
that-
band in there. You put your local band in your top 8 when their top 8 pops up. But yeah, I mean, I had the homies in there. But you ever had to rank your homies and then show them, like, hey, here I've ranked you? That's what MySpace
Also,
top 8 was.
Change your homies 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden you start getting into the DMs with them. Like, what's going on? How they could be fucking you up on the bulletin board.
How about this? My high school band, top 8 of Under Oath.
No shot.
For
Get
like
the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because of, it was family ties. It's not really any
How many friend requests?
No merit there.
How many friend requests did the band
I
get?
don't think we had very many.
Did you guys have a band camp?
I don't
or was
really
it-
recall how this went down. I know it was not due to me. It was
I would
a
kill
family
for
member.
Still.
Yeah, you know what? I might even be wrong. It might have been the Almost. It was one of those two.
Oh, okay.
The Almost is a smaller sect.
Damn, I definitely saw
No, it
your
had to have
I
been
definitely
Under Oath.
saw your fucking band on that top 8 then.
Yeah, I think it was Under Oath at the time. But yeah, that was a top 8 moment for me.
That was some shit that you could get by with is like if you needed to make a top 8 change, what you would do is kick everyone out.
Yeah,
and
just
then
do like
replace
pages.
it with bands. Like fucking redacted. I was gonna say brand new first. Redacted.
Yeah,
But-
no, that was the way to do it if you were mad at the homies.
Yeah, and
but
then-
no, you know what'll happen? Danny will just switch 2 people.
The switching of 2 people.
From first to second.
cannot
I got
fucking
first to
believe this guy.
seconded from Danny.
The only way
So just don't think I'll ever forget that shit.
I want the Wayback Machine to show me what I did. Like, I would love to see a time
Yeah.
lapse of like
what your top
what
8 looks
that
like.
shit had.
Oh my God, I bet you that data exists.
Somebody,
like how you
somebody
can
pull
look
up
at
that
Google
thing out.
history. Like you can look at like
If there's no version history of top 8 MySpace, you guys really fucked up on your infrastructure. That is a huge.
They
They,
wiped
they
my-
could sell that data.
Oh yeah.
I would pay.
There's a hard
lot.
drive somewhere. Someone down.
No, they wiped that whole thing when
it's
I think AOL bought them.
When Justin Timberlake bought
yeah,
it.
Justin Timberlake bought it and
I
they
remember
fucking
when they
got
were
rid of
back.
everything.
I really wanted it to be back. I remember being sick of Facebook then. I was like, it'd be kind of sick if it came back. MySpace would be kind of sick, and it did not come back.
One piece of I guess this is a little. This is definitely before 2000. It is more 2005, but for that same vibe. Speaking of AOL Instant Messenger, it was an app on the Sidekick, folks.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
The
Fucking
Sidekick, baby.
God.
Holy shit.
So
those
wait.
noises, all that shit just immediately reminded me the one thing that was missing from this movie was the fucking flick.
There was one kid at a party who had it, and he was filming a video.
Dude, incredible. What a technological device. What an advancement in
How many
society.
sidekicks did you have?
I had all of them. I had 1, 2, 3, all sidekicks. I was out there on MySpace at the gig. I know you're
Shut the
jealous.
fuck up.
I was on the
God
gig. I
damn.
was out there messaging fools. I was out there looking up directions. I mentioned this earlier, but
When?
I had to, back in the day, I had to tour with a fucking printed out MapQuest. I know that's luxury for some of you old heads. But
Yeah.
printed out
Yeah.
MapQuest with an atlas. Then the fucking Sidekick came out and we're like, hold on a second. Flick, bow. You couldn't necessarily know that you were X amount of distance away, but you could be like, I have the directions on my
Wait,
phone.
why did you mention an atlas?
An atlas because you had to pull up the MapQuest.
I thought you were saying that like in the fucking 90s when like Earth Crisis was touring, they had like one of the globes. Like,
Yeah, there's like,
EarthQuest.
the guy in the truck was just spinning the fucking globe, be like, all right, we gotta go here.
Oh, speaking of, this is totally unrelated, but you guys know the band His Hero Is Gone and Tragedy, those bands. There was
yeah,
this
dude.
rumor back then when His Hero Is Gone broke up and everyone was so bummed, and then eventually Tragedy became a thing. Or I think there was some overlap, but it was because His Hero Is Gone refused to tour because they didn't support federally funded interstates.
they were like, we can
They're
only
too
take
punk.
back roads.
They're too punk. Anyway,
That's one
that's
of
just a
those-
rumor that I heard back then that I wanted to bring up.
That's another one of those fucking rumors that spreads in hardcore about like
Yes.
like a dumbass rumor that someone starts as a joke and then it like
Dude, it's
catches
literally
on.
that.
Well,
It's
I mean,
literally that.
fucking
Ryan Gosling
awesome.
really did stage dive at that American Nightmare show.
Yeah, exactly.
so-
Same shit. But I just want to throw that in there. Speaking of atlases and touring, but yeah, the Sidekick. We're talking the number one device. Fuck the iPhone. The Sidekick really changed
I
things.
never had a sidekick.
No, yeah, I
I-
was like, It never happened for me. I had the flip
Coward,
phone, then I
coward.
had basically a baby laptop with like fucking.
Y'all
I
in
wanted to
that's
be
jealous.
half iPhone, half Sidekick. It didn't have the this thing, the swoosh bit. Like whoever came up with that is like a fucking genius.
Oh my
Ice-
God, it felt so
like,
fucking good.
shut the
to
fuck
flip,
up.
To flip that sucker?
Dude.
Oh boy.
I still don't know of a piece of technology that feels smoother than that.
Order one of those bad boys on eBay and just flip
Dude,
it.
imagine it would
Just
just
like
break
a
my
fidget
phone trying to
device.
get on 3G.
Like T-Mobile, like no Android is really popping right now. If they do an Android Sidekick,
Might
fucking huge.
have to cop. Before we get off Sidekick, I want everyone who's listening, you're going to have to pull this up, put it in post-edit.
Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead and Google the man with the sidekick tattoo. We're talking Maddie
The
from
man.
CFLhardcore.com/board. My man had a sidekick neck tattoo.
Yeah, back of the neck. I saw it.
Unbelievable fucked up tattoo to have. I wonder what he's thinking today about that tattoo.
Yeah.
Do you think he
He
has
probably loves
does he have an iPod tattoo, or does he have
iPod
like
Touch?
Yeah, like
like
what
the screen.
what else?
No,
what
iPod
other
Shuffle.
things? Yeah, like he's
The
got to have like
stick.
all kinds of outdated tech on his fucking body.
Yeah.
He should get a real phone somewhere
I
as well.
wonder if he has it covered.
I don't know. That thing is
Anyway,
is pretty
Google
serious.
sidekick neck tattaoo. The man with the sidekick tattoo.
Oh,
Pull it up.
here it is, right here.
Bing, bing, bing. I think we might know based on your answer just now. But what piece of like technology from like 2008 era do you miss the most?
Well, 2008, I think it was just past
but
sidekick.
like the area we're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I miss anything. I never got to fucking have a sidekick. I
miss AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, I was like, Instant Messenger kind of rocked. I was like, that was like the fucking sickest time. Getting home and just like talking to the homies about nothing, like taking up a phone line to just be able to talk about
Just to
nothing.
chat with the boys. Oh my
shit
God.
rocked.
Let me ask you guys this.
Is that
What
a
was your
Discord
screen
now?
name? What was
Screen
your
name?
instant messengers? What was your AIM screen name? Let's lock it in right now.
I mean, I had so many, and then there were the ones that you would make to like kind of be on your own, like do some alone time.
Let's try this then. If we
Yeah.
all had many, let's go with your very first, if you can remember, and then your long standing.
Okay, so I got Skate Cat 182. So I just found out about skateboarding. Shit rocked.
And you're a cool cat.
And I'm a cool cat. That's my initials are cat, so I got to have that and that fucking shit. And then 182. I mean, does it get any better than a number?
It does
scheme?
not
Can
get
you
better.
explain?
Yeah, I was like, I had one CD at the time. You know, I'm listening to fucking Blink 182, and I might have just bought a Godsmack CD. So,
Oh shit!
and then my long-standing one, which is kind of insane, is that I got Chris X Tharp, and
Oh,
Incredible.
and I'm still
First last name's kind of crazy though.
I'm still burdened with that now because
As
it
your
is my email. And I can't get out of it. I was like, I have multiple other
Michael
emails,
Walsh MacArthur@gmail.com.
but the amount of shit that I have on there, it's fucking insane.
Chris Xavier Tharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
Xylophone
me,
was huge, you know.
for me, my first one was made by my grandmother via an AOL free trial disc. Y'all remember those fuckers being littered everywhere?
My dad literally worked at AOL at this time, and that's how I got my
Really?
disc. I have an AOL watch that he got as
that's
like
sick.
a gift.
Damn,
Do
that's
you
hard.
remember that? Are you old enough to remember all the discs?
Of course, yeah,
Yeah, they were
definitely.
everywhere. Publix, you grab one of the cashier. But my grandma made me one off of one of those on a nice Saturday I used to spend my Saturdays at my grandma's house because I was a bad boy and I couldn't be alone. So she made me one. It was Coca-Cola Kid 66. Coca-Cola because I had my grandmother painted a mural in my bedroom of the Coca-Cola polar bears.
Bro,
Oh,
what?
the polar bears rock.
It was so sick. My grandma fucking rocked.
We'll get into your other screen name. Were you a big bone child?
What the hell are you trying to say,
Bone
dude?
Child.
Because just answer the
You
question.
call me fucking fat again on this podcast? How many
He's
times are we going to go
he's
over
in
this?
big
Curious.
bones.
But as a
I was a big boy, dude.
as
I was husky. I was 18 husky, dude.
as an 18 husky gentleman myself, we can pull up some photos later. One of the things about being like in like a fourth grade, like a 10-year-old or whatever, is just like your family trying to figure out like your interests and be like, oh, like what does Brian like? It's
He
like
likes candy.
he likes soda. It's like
Yeah,
like Brian
that is definitely right.
Brian's into Mountain Dew.
That's
Yeah,
why she did
honestly,
it for you.
Exactly like trying
That's
to,
literally it.
At that time in my life,
come on,
I
bro.
was a Coca-Cola kid.
I was a Coca-Cola kid, 66.
Yeah.
So 66 was my number in Pee Wee football, where I met friend of the pod, Danny, whose screen name was Misfits 14.
dab me up about liking soda real quick.
Dude, soda? Being a fatty, liking soda as a kid. And then My other two screen names that I used was after that it was I is JP, and
That's a good
then
one.
that was throughout middle school and beginning of high school, and then I changed it in high school, 9th grade, to Shopping for a Crew, which was a Good Clean Fun reference. Shout out Good Clean Fun.
Yeah. My first one, Squidward 5000.
I forgot. I know I
How
told me that. but
How
I
do you
forgot.
come up with 5,000? I just don't
It's
get
a sick
it.
number.
It
Think
is
of a
a
sicker
sick
number
number.
than
Yeah, but I was
5,000.
like-
It sounds like Power Man 3000.
5001?
5,000, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
Squidward. You are a Squidward ass motherfucker, though.
Sidekick.
If you were a SpongeBob, you would not be Freaky Bob.
Which one's which? Let's go.
You're Squidward, dude. I'm Patrick.
Okay, and
So
you're
I'm
SpongeBob?
You're
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, yeah.
I'm Mr. Krabs. I'm all about that fucking
No,
bread.
you might
son.
be Mr.
Yeah.
Krabs, dude. No, you're the weird looking like Sebastian. No, the little little bug. What's his
Plankton?
name? Plankton. You're Plankton.
Plankton.
I'm not as devious as Plankton, dog.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Krabs because when I walk, it goes.
Yeah. Anyway.
And yeah, but
SpongeBob.
we're all a little
I
bit
missed
freaky
that from
Bob over
2000.
here.
Actually,
Everyone's a little
I
Freaky
think
Bob.
my 8th grade yearbook photo, I was wearing ironically wearing a SpongeBob t-shirt.
The yellow one that just was his
Like the
face.
big face
No, it was
one?
blue.
Oh, okay.
I had pink hair,
Oh, hell yeah.
and I had a SpongeBob shirt on. Because
very
back then
punk.
it was a no effects Tricks Are for Kids shirt every day, or like some dumb like Hot Topic ass, but I got it from Inti. I don't know if y'all actually Inti's a local mall store. It was like before Hot Topic there was Inti, and you could buy
Is this like Gadzooks?
you could buy like a Charge
are you
GBH
guys
shirt
talking
there. You could buy like all the punk shirts, so Global Threat, the Virus, got all those shirts there. But you could also
okay.
buy a SpongeBob shirt, and I did that.
That's pretty
You're just
random.
like, here's all these cool punk bands, but that
Here's a
SpongeBob,
SpongeBob
one is
shirt.
talking to me.
They
Yeah,
ever make
so-
you turn the shirt inside out?
I had that.
Oh my God, so
every
many
time
times.
I die,
Shout out to
Smile
my
You
friend's older sister that worked at Inti. You were so hot. I don't remember what your
Let
name
him
was,
talk
but-
about every time I die.
Sorry,
Every
but she was
time
so
I
hot.
die,
Metalcore podcast.
Smile You Fuckers on the back, but like small. Like it just said it like. My mom wouldn't let me wear it, and then one day she didn't know that I wore it, and then I had to flip it inside out
At school?
at school.
Damn, I had a lot of fucked up shirts back then. This is street punk era me, so all the mean shirts were my favorite.
This is before big print metalcore like Amir shirts where it's like
Yeah,
fucking
this was me
I want to
wearing,
see
like,
you die.
Like the Virus or something stupid like that, and they had all sorts of dumb like curse words on their shirts back then.
You're gonna die for your fucking government.
Dude, the anti-flag shirts.
Yeah, the
Hell yeah,
anti-flag
definitely
shirts
had
were
an
very
anti-flag
popular
shirt.
at my school, so
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like
of course.
it was a lot.
That was a big flip your shirt inside out.
Yeah,
thing.
I want to say that people. It depends on the
Leftover
day.
crack,
yeah.
fuck World Trade.
Oh,
Post 2001.
I remember wanting to buy that shirt off of like whatever crazy website. I cannot think of the fucking name. Like something punk.
Shout out fuck World Trade. We're in the World Trade Center right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel though.
But
I mean,
also fuck this place.
Fuck that one. This one's great. Very new. Very nice.
No, this one, which we won't mention the number, but we're in a different tower,
Yeah.
so you can't get us. Anyway,
Anyway,
we derailed quite a bit here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one of the things about MySpace songs,
yeah.
I know you personally, you guys hated my answer, but what were y'all's MySpace songs?
I was like, I feel like I just had like Taking Back Sunday maybe on there. I might have thrown American Nightmare up there.
Oh shit.
So I was emotional, but like, I don't know. I felt like I could still stand by my songs.
Mine was that song "Cold as Ice" for like years.
I just don't like. That's
That-
cool to have it like branded as you,
Yeah,
but
that was
when I
my
think
song.
about MySpace songs, I think about bands from the era that it's
Yeah.
like, oh, like this is my
Nah,
personality.
I didn't want to be a poser. I'm not putting some contemporary shit on my.
What about like a local
MySpace,
band that
dude.
you're
I'm
trying to put on?
timeless.
Oh yeah.
My own band. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure I did have a "Take These Eyes" MySpace
See,
song.
that's
Shout
the
out-
answer
shout
I
out
need.
Take These Eyes,
dude.
Shout out Vince. Take These Eyes. Dunedin High School.
The one I can think like is probably most emblematic is like an August Burns Red song or something like that from
Hell
like
yeah.
fucking Messengers. That
People,
band
people
fucking
definitely
rules.
got Thursday song on a car crash.
Dude, yeah.
Fucking joint. Yeah.
Paris in Flames.
Yeah. That's some shit that you put
Jet
on your
Black New
fucking
Year, hell yeah.
on your MySpace, dude.
But yeah, this movie definitely has that vibe. Literally
Yeah.
exactly that. Some dumbass like MySpace song ass shit.
Yeah, the soundtrack of this movie is something that we should talk about because it's tied into the thing that we're talking about where like the movie uses the technology of the time to tell the story.
Yeah.
You're on MySpace pages. There's a Hello Goodbye song that's like featured on his crush's page that then he starts to like try to say is like his favorite song. He sets it as his
Hilarious.
fucking
Yeah, he sets it as
ringtone.
his
Oh my
ringtone.
God! The
Using-
scene where he
hey,
makes his friend call him so
call
she
my
can hear his
phone in a
ringtone.
second. Oh my
The word
Fuck.
zero Riz unlocked.
Incredible moment.
God, I love that moment.
But I do want to shout out Sean Wang for like just getting every song like locked in on this. I think a few off the top of my head. Like there's a Hello Goodbye. There's a Belle and Sebastian song, which let's be real, Chris from the movie wasn't listening to Belle and Sebastian.
No, he
Yeah,
certainly
that-
wasn't.
a
He
little
was
heavy.
definitely listening to Limp Bizkit,
Yeah. He definitely had a bit more Limp Bizkit
or at least
energy.
Soup was. You know what I mean?
It's funny because like
Break stuff energy.
his older sister, who like time dependent when I'm fucking 16, I definitely would have had a crush on.
Yeah.
Like she had good taste. She loved
You're
Paramore.
making sure it's
She's
time dependent. Is
Yeah.
that you want to
time
preface
dependent, folks.
that? She's in college now, dude.
Still, she was...
Time dependent.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. But it's just a good sign. Like sometimes when movies that are dated in a certain period, like if they soundtrack a song that isn't of the moment or like doesn't feel right,
Yeah,
it
it's a
takes you
little
out of
tough.
it. And this movie, I think all of us would have clocked something not being.
Oh yeah, we were definitely razor
Yeah,
sharp
I
on
was,
the
yeah, scanning the
acknowledgments. But yeah, he nailed it.
Because it
Like,
wouldn't have worked if anything felt inauthentic. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I saw a photo of the director wearing a Chiodo shirt, so I feel like he gets it. You know what I mean? Like, not that I've ever listened to Chiodos,
Yeah,
but
I don't know
feel
what they
like,
sound like, but
I
that is
feel
very
like this
much
guy
a-
definitely grew up as a scene kid. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
and has the pulse of that really well. With his sister in the movie being obsessed with Paramore
Yes.
and stealing her Paramore shirt, it just like fits so well.
Yeah.
But I will say that when I was looking up the soundtrack of this movie, doing some research, I did stumble upon Sean Wang's Spotify profile, and I believe it's legit.
Dude,
He has
Yes.
83 followers, and it's
he's
a
about to
photo
have
of him.
84.
I mean, this following each other thing never really took off on Spotify.
Never
you know?
really did.
You know
no.
what?
And I think that they could pump it
Soon
in right
come,
now.
folks.
Yeah,
Calm
I was
down.
like, I think that the profile is going to be a thing.
We're
But
working
we
on it.
can see his recently played artist. He's listening to Take Back Sunday, little Chapel Roan, shout out.
Oh wow!
Anais, Planet Giza. Let's see what else we got in here.
Going through
any of
my
my
man's-
fictions? I don't think so.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna hack in there and put some of my
Fleetwood
pictures on
Mac.
there.
Oh, thank you,
He's
dude.
definitely getting older.
Dude,
you know?
story so far. What's up,
Oh hell yeah!
Charlie? I'm getting lost in the sauce here.
redacted.
Yeah. Wow. So this is my homie's. How do you know that it's his?
Well, I know it's his, or at least like I can have an idea that it's his, because if you go into his playlist that he creates, it's really interesting. There's actually character specific playlists named after every character in this
Wow.
that you can see. He basically like set up playlists for each character as like inspiration for like what they would be listening to. So if we go to Chris's playlist, for example, he's listening to like Starting Line, Taking Back Sunday,
Green Day.
yep, Green Day,
Damn.
and like just stuff from the era.
So just like full character study on each.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
What
then
a
if you
wild
go
move.
if you go to our boy fucking Soup's page,
Shout out Soap.
who's he listening to? Atmosphere,
Oh, dude, he definitely listens to Atmosphere.
dude, Aesop Rock,
Hell yeah, he does.
Nas, Farside.
This guy definitely listens to Dance with the Devil, dude. He's like, yo, you ever heard
Oh
this
my
song?
God, that was like
Tribe
such
Called
a
Quest.
such a moment.
To be honest, I think that Soup might have been listening to a little bit more Soldier Boy and like fucking
Yeah, he was on some yo.
yeah,
type
like
shit.
Graduation era Kanye, which is
Yeah.
fucking great record.
Holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So he built out music storyboards for
Yeah.
each character, basically.
Yeah, like what they would be listening to, what their vibe was, and then also he has like
I
an
wonder if he
on-set.
knows that this is public.
Definitely doesn't.
Get
But
on it while you can.
the on-set music is just all things from 2008 that he thinks
Oh,
that,
dude,
that would be
Ocean
like,
Avenue while sets get like the lights are going up.
dude, Gym Class Heroes, Fall Out Boy.
Just getting everyone in the fucking mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really
Paper Plane.
respect this like dedication to.
No, this is so sick.
Yeah, like making the vibe of like 2008 that he wants to feel, because like there was other shit going on in 2008, fucking Katy Perry, whatever. You know?
Yeah. No, this is the right vibe. I mean, like, yo, fucking, you heard it here first. Breaking news.
Yeah.
My man storyboarded on Spotify. That's crazy as hell.
And
And honestly, it feels like he nailed it. He did his homework, and here it is.
Absolutely.
Here is his homework. Y'all can copy it.
And the
Do this
last
for
cool
other
thing
movies.
is that he actually made a score reference playlist. So he didn't write the score to this, obviously, but Didi does have like a different like instrumental string score that accompanies the record, and he put some mid-90s songs, a couple Trent Reznor ones.
The Where the
Ladybird.
Wild Things one is like pretty interesting because I feel like
Well,
that's
actually,
a very
you know what's
unique,
funny about that?
like,
I heard him talk
playlist.
about Spike Jonze being like his, I can make
Oh yeah,
movies
'cause
too.
they met and they were like,
he made like skate movies. This movie's about
yeah,
Chris making a skate movie.
Yeah.
With, since it's semi-autobiographical, he also would film skate videos and then realized that like, Spike Jonze, the guy from Jackass,
Yeah.
is making a feature film. Like, I can do this.
That's fucking
So that's
awesome.
cool that it's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I actually
That's
tell
so
you
wild.
something about Spike Jonze in this movie?
Let's hear it.
He's in this movie.
what?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Spike Jonze voices the squirrel in
No
that scene.
way. Hey.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He's in the cast.
Holy shit,
That's
that's awesome.
insane.
Why'd you blow me up?
That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah. So that's.
That is some jackass ass part too.
I didn't realize that he was in. That,
Yeah,
that
that
he had
scene
that
is
connection.
kind of like
that-
Spike Jonze, and also there's that weird fish scene out of nowhere where the fish just like talks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of feels like a Spike Jonze kind of movie because like he does like weird short films or something like that would happen. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Wow. Fuck.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And yeah, like the scene at the party when he's like hallucinating and he sees the mini golf heads going and stuff like that. This movie I thought was going to turn into a couple of different things and it didn't. And I think that's really kind of what I admire about it.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little bit restrained with
it.
its like weird ass shit like that. I definitely could have gone off the deep end and been a much weirder movie.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Do you guys have any like standout characters or performances or anything like that you want to shout out in Didi that really stood out to you?
I feel like from a character perspective, shout out Soup. You deserve more.
Soup.
You deserve better,
Soup-
brother.
Soup is getting his
shout
own
out to my
flick.
clearly ADHD brother. We deserve more screen time.
Yeah.
He definitely was the fun. Like he was definitely the comedic relief, even though the whole movie was pretty funny.
I was gonna say, I was like, the first 3/4 of this movie is like big laughs, like
But yeah.
pretty consistently.
We need more Soup in the next one, dude. DD 2,
Yeah.
Soup story. I want Soup.
DD2,
Soup,
The
Soup.
Rise of Soup.
yeah,
Yeah,
Rise of Soup. Oh my god.
Yeah. When Nick Fury comes to fucking
Yeah.
recruit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, from an acting performance, I feel like the mother is like, she had so much range. Like, I feel like when she was like breaking down in the car, like telling him that she didn't want to have this life and things like that. I was like, this
Yeah,
is like
tough.
this is a difficult scene. And I don't know, I feel like she like crushed it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she definitely, from an acting perspective, she definitely takes the
Joan
cake.
Chen.
She like brought the movie together at the
Yeah.
end there.
Yeah, and I think that one interesting thing about that performance in particular is that you get to see her in so many different like personas for her because she obviously has to be like a role of authority with Chris, and she has to be a different person when she's talking to her mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
mother-in-law. Shout out Nine.
Oh, yeah.
Nine.
Shout out Nine. You fucking
Nine
killed
fucking
it.
Goated.
rocks.
But then again, like the most surprising thing was when she kind of stumbles upon Chris and his skater friends, she has to turn into basically like, you know, a subservient like immigrant basically because she's like, oh,
Yeah.
these strangers are in my house. I'm not expecting this. I need to like code switch and like speak English and like be very, very docile and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it could have gone like pretty wrong because these skaters are kind of like, you know, like they're pretty raucous.
Shithead
and
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
they're
also
shitheads.
tromping up in our house with their fucking shoes
they don't take the
on. I
shoes
was like,
off, but-
Crazy.
a huge gasp
Crazy
up
white
in
boy
the
energy.
up in the theater. We couldn't handle it. I
But
was
they were
like,
very
this is-
polite, which I liked.
They were cool.
Yeah. But I think, honestly, the biggest shout out I want to give in the performance is just like Sean Wang for writing this movie. So what feels like honestly,
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of these growing up stories where, especially when they're autobiographical, the people that write them can kind of correct behaviors that they might have
Oh, yeah.
been embarrassed by or been like, oh, if I had done it like this, my life would be different. And I want to like basically rewrite my history. But I think that what works about this movie is that this is like just a series of choices that Chris makes over a summer. And for him to, you're watching him in real time develop these like different personas. It's like choices about who I want to be. Do I want to be a friend to my like boys that I grew up with? Do I want to be like in more of a serious relationship with this girl that I like? Do I want to like really commit and learn the like how to be a better like skate filmer and
Yeah.
stuff like that? And he doesn't make the right choices all the time. He fucks up.
Literally
constantly.
almost never.
Yeah, I was like-
we talked about this.
If you learn from failure, this guy's learning a ton in this movie.
Exactly. But the most endearing thing I thought was that this is such a malleable time in your life when you're fucking 12 and you're just going into 9th grade, and everything feels like the decision that you make is social death, and everything is always like calamitous if you fuck up. But then the character grows and he realizes, like, I can bounce back from this. I can try to make amends. And I really appreciated that about it. And I just
it did feel fully honest.
Exactly. And it was just nice to have a movie that didn't feel like it had like these like stakes weighing on it, or like he made something that he couldn't correct.
Yeah.
Which is a feeling that I can't really relate to anymore, because every decision I make now feels like I'm just closing a door that will bring me closer to death. You know what I mean?
Well,
So I'm kind of back in that
We
stage.
know
Now.
about that.
Now, it is a bit more life and death now. So.
Exactly. Folks, it's getting dark out there.
real dark.
Yeah. But that's
no.
all I wanted to shout out.
Solid. Yeah. I feel like this movie definitely tells the most relatable version of a coming of age story that I've seen, at least for me.
For a young boy.
For a young boy going through boyhood.
Yeah.
From 8th to 9th grade, like the family troubles, the like distancing from the homies, that kind of switching. It's just like, fuck, this all happened to me. And I'm sure like to most people our age that like, that's just like how it went. You know what I mean? Like it, regardless of your age, regardless of your gender, even though this is clearly like very boy heavy.
For the
Yeah, I was
fellas.
like, it's definitely
It's for the fellas,
boy
but like
movie.
there's so much to relate to.
Yeah.
And it's because it's so honest.
And yeah, but like I think it is specifically for us, because it's like that's how you learned. It's like, oh, I'm out of the top 8, or it's like, oh, like my friends that are like doing a little like, you know, they're richer than me or whatever. Like they're on Facebook, like they're getting on Facebook first and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, they're getting tagged in parties that I wasn't going to and shit like that.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
like those
There's not
fucking
room for you in the car.
That type of shit just socially wasn't there yet.
that
So the
specific
construct
level,
was super awkward.
that specific level of hurt and stuff like that. It's like it's very unique to our generation. So I don't think that everyone that watches this movie is going to have that relationship with it. I think it does do a good job of showing, like, you don't need to have gone through that to feel like you can
recognize
relate
it.
to this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely
so
not.
that's successful to me.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, right now, movie of the year for me. So solid.
So it's a banger?
I would say it's definitely a banger.
Me too.
Big time banger.
I would also maybe call it a film.
Well, we talked about this earlier. You know what? Let's break into this. I've decided that I don't fuck with films. I watch movies,
This is the movie guy.
and this is a movie, and that's so people often like, oh, this movie's so good, it's a film. This is art, it's a film. I flip that script, baby. If
this
this,
guy
movie's
likes
good,
IP
it's a movie.
blockbusters.
You know what's
He's
a
not
movie?
going to the artisan flicks.
Dude, Where's My Car is a movie.
That's a movie.
That is definitely
That's
a
right.
movie.
yeah.
So is this.
Persona, that's a film.
Yeah.
Trap, that's a film.
Now, Trap's
Stupid
a
ass
fucking, Trap's a fucking
I
movie,
said
my
Trap's
friend.
a
I hate to
fucking
tell
Okay,
you.
fine, it's a movie too.
Yeah.
I don't use the word film though. That's out of my
Oppenheimer's a
vocabulary.
film,
This
I
is
would
not a
say.
film podcast. This is a movie podcast.
This is a movie podcast. I did misspeak.
It's about going to the movies, not
we
going
don't
to
do no
films.
film shit out here.
Yeah.
We're barely going to the cinema because we're going to AMC.
We're going to
Exactly.
the AMC. We're not
Yeah.
going to the cinema.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine how annoying we would be at the fucking Metrograph every week. Just like
Jesus
ruining
Christ.
people's vibes.
Get me
You know,
out of there.
We're watching Barry Lyndon on 35.
Hell
ruining
yeah, you
everyone's
are,
vibes.
dickhead. Not me. I'm watching Superbad on fucking
My
Blu-ray.
phone. I'm watching Superman on my phone.
I'm watching Superbad on
Upside
the
down.
phone.
with ads.
Yeah,
At
dude.
123movie.ru.
Yeah.
No, 123film.ru.
Exactly. Metrograph my ass, you fuck.
Oh my God, Metrograph, if you're listening,
You
you can
work
just send
my
us
ass.
2 tickets to anything. And we'll
That's
go.
right. And sponsor us.
Yeah.
Please.
All right. Switching gears. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the fellas, the new segment.
Or for the
where
fellas.
We are
Four for the fellas.
deliberating on 4 movies that we feel like are in conversation with Didi, whether or not they talk about the same things or anything in the story or the production kind of reminded us of them. So we're all going to give you 1 rec and then we're going to decide on a 4th. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. JP, you want to start?
Yeah, it's apt that I start because my opinion is the strongest and most valid.
Sure.
Right.
No.
Or we're just going left to right?
And this is the strongest movie. Stand By Me.
Goated.
Holy fuck. That is #1 coming of age story. Sean Wang actually mentions in multiple different
Yep.
pressers that he wanted to make Stand By Me, but for kids that looked like him and acted like his friends. I think he fucking killed it at doing that, by the way. But yeah, Stand
Did
By
you know
Me.
that there was originally supposed to be a dead body in this movie?
Yeah, who?
No,
The grandma,
soup
dude,
actually.
Rest in peace. Actually, fuck that. This
Actually-
is a real grandma.
Actually,
I'm
the
sorry
grandma,
for the disrespect.
that was rough when they found her in the backyard. That was
Dude, yeah, there you go.
that was a
basically Stand By
rough
Me
fucking moment.
That was really tough, yeah. But yeah, Stand By Me, definitely number one. This, like, I felt it when we were watching it, and then reading about the movie, it's cool to see that he mentioned it. But yeah, Stand By Me for me. That's Forward the Fellas, Stand By Me, number
Stand
one.
By Me, a little bit of a film, but let me
call
talk
it a
about
movie, but yeah.
a fucking cinema classic, The fucking Sandlot.
Sandlot.
Did that even
It's
come
like-
out in the theaters, dude? That's a
That movie
straight to
did-
fucking.
yeah, I was gonna say,
that's
yeah,
straight
Disney.
to bubbly
That
VHS
movie
cover.
did come out to theaters and fucking bombed. It wasn't until later on that people started liking
that's
it.
the white VHS cover. That's like
Yeah.
fluffy for some reason.
Yeah.
Clamshell, we call that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a clamshell bad
Yeah,
boy, dude.
that bad boy did not do well in theaters.
Boy, did it do well in the Mara household.
Yeah,
I
and
was
Because we
gonna say,
watched the
yeah,
fuck
like,
out of
the
if
that.
you-
Rolly VHS thing in class when the substitute was there.
Jesus
It's
Christ,
like,
I loved it.
Just countless classic scenes, you know. I didn't grow up in the fucking 60s going to the fucking public pool, but now every time I'm in a fucking public pool or hell, most pools, I'm fucking thinking about Squints jumping in there and kissing Wendy Peppercorn,
Pretending to drown.
pretending to drown.
my
Such
God.
a classic fucking bit.
What were the shoes that fool was wearing?
Oh, the JP
PF Flyers.
PF Flyers.
Come
PF
on,
Flyers.
They should be
JP
called the
Flyers.
JP Flyers.
JP Riders, JP Dick Riders.
Chill out. Yeah, actually, you guys are JP Dick Riders.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, yeah, fuck yeah, Sandlot number 2.
My pick for coming of age movies, I'm gonna go. Doesn't really line up with what you guys are saying, but Didi reminded me of some of the plot points of Almost Famous.
It's a stretch.
Okay, Cameron Crowe, based on his real life experiences, similar to Sean Wang's. Movie about a young kid who finds music, falls in love with it, gets immersed in the culture, starts writing about music to the point where he can actually go on tour with a band. And he's just surrounded by people that are older than him, more experienced than him, know what they're doing. And at the same time, he's going through all of these changes and trying to just keep up and figure out who he is.
So it's like the skateboard kids.
Exactly.
the
The
musicians.
skateboard
It
kids of
reminded
the
me a
band,
lot
yeah.
of that and just like trying to, immerse yourself as a new you. And
I see.
I think that the kid in Almost Famous, I forget his name, but the way that he went
David
about
Bader. Shout
Yeah.
out to David Bader. We'll have him on for Almost Famous.
that would be
He's
fun,
coming out
actually.
for Alien.
Nah, he's got to do Almost
Okay.
Famous.
We got it.
Double feature. But I think that that's a underrated growing up movie because you think about like the band stuff and the period piece of it.
Yeah, that's
all.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But all right, so that's our 3, and now we just need to come up with another one. So
We don't need to. There's no
well,
need.
let-
to.
let's- so there's some movies that have been thrown out as DD comps, and we have like 8th Grade, Bo Burnham, Booksmart, Boyhood.
Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
These are films.
There's one more.
There's one movie left.
Super bad. I'm talking about super bad.
It's happened again.
Yeah, the
Super
Citizen
bad.
Kane
Super bad,
of
bitch.
this podcast.
They watch it in the fucking movie. It's the best coming of age movie outside of Stand By Me.
It's a coming of age movie in a coming of age movie.
I'm coming of
yeah.
age to that movie. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy that like some kids are watching a movie and we're watching some kids watch a movie, but we're pumped for these kids to be watching
you were
this
so
movie.
fucking excited in the theater.
Dude, yeah, honestly, it fucking kills.
Yeah, it was like a huge
That's
scene.
the best movie in the world. They watch the best movie in the world. I feel, didn't I say it earlier? Or did I say it on the first episode? I know, I said it on this episode.
You said it in this episode.
Yeah, dude, honestly, goated movie has to be in this list. I had to put Stand By Me in front of it because
that's
it
a
fits
classic.
better. But dear God, does
Luckily,
super bad fit.
it's 4 for the fellas, so
Yeah.
it worked out.
Gotta
As
be in
much as I
there.
love to shout out things like Lady Bird or whatever, or like other movies that really reckon with how you really feel like a shithead about some things that you do to your parents, which I feel like this movie's about. I think the force that you're coming with super bad. I'm just gonna give it to it.
I mean, it's about goofing off with the homies and having to reckon with the fact that you're growing apart.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Super bad, man. It makes me cry sometimes.
So that's 4 for
Lock
the fellas. We got Almost Famous, Stand By Me, The Sandlot, Super Bad.
Watch them all.
Watch them all right
Again,
now.
that's the letterbox list to save your fucking life. That's the
To
best
save your
letterbox list you've
fucking
ever heard.
life.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Sweet. Wrapping up here. I thought it would be fun if we talked about our own experiences related to the time period that Dìdi is set in. And I think that as a prompt, this can either be when you were leaving 8th grade, going to 9th grade, for those of us that did that.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. Or we can talk about 2008 and just sort of like the era of MySpace, AIM, early Facebook, all that shit. How do you want to go about it? Chris, want to take the lead?
I'm gonna go with the 8th or the 8th to 9th grade. I was like that time period hit me pretty hard just because it was the summer after I found skateboarding. So I had my like small skate crew that I was with. I was getting ready to move. I had to move to a new school. I was linking up with some of the old homies. Like it was a very pivotal time in my life. So I felt like that transition between 8th and 9th grade was very much like a big pivotal point in your life, because like that's when you're kind of like finding out who you're gonna be. So I felt like that was just a bigger time for me.
Well, I'm gonna do both because fuck you, I get both.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
2008, me and Tharp vibing. We've known each other for a couple of years at this point.
We checked
Shit
this
is
out on
sick.
Facebook, see our friendship.
Yeah, after we got out of Dìdi, we looked at Facebook to see when we signed up, and then you can look at your friendship. Me and Tharp, May 2007, added each other on Facebook. Clearly, when we both got it.
Yeah, both.
Let's add
I'm
each
like,
other.
I need more than 4 friends.
Because this was back when you needed to go to the same school, and we both went to the same community college, so we added each other on there.
Baller.
So yeah, shout out to being the homies. Also, 2008, I went to Fremont for the first time on tour.
Nice.
But yeah, for the high school side of this, or going into high school, this movie hit so hard because it hit so many of the same fucking things that I went through. But including being an absolute shithead, I'd gotten expelled the year before. I got held back because of missing too much school. So all my friends went to high school when I didn't. So I really had to get like a whole new group of friends. Shout out Nick Valencia, true squad homie, 7th grade.
Right.
But yeah, going into high school, I was also going to a different high school than all my friends because I had to move in with my dad because my mom kicked me out for being a shithead. So I had to go to Dunedin High School, where I was like, I don't know anybody here. I had to go into ROTC wearing a dumbass uniform every day or every Thursday. It was a nightmare. It sucked so bad. But I met so many homies that year. Shout out Vince. Shout out Tyler.
Global Threat shirt on Wednesday,
Dude,
fucking
exactly.
uniform on Thursday.
Dude, trust me, Dìdi. I definitely was wearing the punk shit and then rocking the. Well, I only ended up wearing the ROTC outfit twice, and then resulted in a failing grade for never wearing it again because my friends clowned me so hard that I refused to put it on. But yeah, so.
Those are cool
it was
friends.
just the wildest time of my, like the most tumultuous period of my life, and just like the craziest period for sure. We talked about Ozfest and Slipknot. That was the summer after. Ended up going to a different high school where all my homies from when I got held back went. So people I hadn't seen in 3 years reunited. It was sick as fuck. But yeah, what a crazy time period. Felt like nail on the head in terms of like all my homies are going to a different school. We're growing apart as a result of that. I also got held back. So growing apart as a result of that. Family shit's going wild. My mom hated my dumbass. Moved in with my dad. He hated my dumbass. So yeah, wild years. But yeah, definitely hit home for me. What about you?
Supposed to follow that up?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this movie is about transition between 8th and 9th grade. I remember parts of that. You know, you basically, much like Chris, you need to build a persona to go into high school with, some armor.
Switch it up.
Yeah, my high school had 5,000 kids in it. It was very big.
How are you going to stand out?
Big high. Yeah, but also like you're trying to develop interest, you know, like my sister's boyfriend had gotten me into some new metal bands and like Slipknot and stuff like that. And I was like learning about alternative music, and I was like, you know, this is my chance to fucking, you know, develop interest outside of like, you know, like what my middle school friends were doing, and like show that I'm fucking different, when in reality I was just like, you know, mentally disturbed and trying to like, you know,
sick and twisted.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I wasn't goth, but I was close, you know?
You wanted to be.
I was on the precipice.
You were scared of putting on the trip pants, but you really wanted to.
I had a pair, but they didn't come out
That's
too
the
much.
weekend only.
Love that.
Yeah. But no, I more distinctly, the summer between ninth grade and 10th grade sticks out to me as like this sort of transformative moment. And that's because, you know, you put on your story of the year shirt and you meet all your friends and you make like this new high school squad in freshman year, you bond with them. But then you show up at the single A baseball game during the summer in 2009 or in ninth grade, 2005. And you see those homies, you try to dap them up. They kind of turn their back on you. They're like, what's up? You haven't been around, Brian. Like, what's going on?
We've moved on.
Exactly. And
Damn, the
that
homies
hurts.
moved
And then
on.
you're like, what do you do?
But did you chill with them in 10th grade or no?
Yeah, we made up.
You reconciled?
Yeah,
That's good
for
to
sure.
hear.
But 2008, I graduated high school, and I got waitlisted at my college, so I had like a semester kickoff. So I went on tour for the first time. That was kind of crazy. Booked it ourselves. It sucked.
Of course.
Fucking week long. Seamus couldn't go, and because he was fucking literally 14 years old, and we had to like go to his parents' house to like petition them, and they said no, and he cried.
It's fair to say no to your 14-year-old.
Yeah,
going
14-year-old on tour
It
is
was
insane.
My
fucking
parents said yes, by the way,
insane
folks.
to try to get him to go on tour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Seamus turned out all right, but I was worried for for a couple of years that I ruined his life.
You might
2008.
have.
No, he's good. He's fine now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
2008,
Shane.
worst tour of my life. I'm not going to mention it, but fuck that tour.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we did it. Oh, I want to wrap on this story, though. Sean Wang, in an interview I just heard on The Big Picture, talks about how actually in Hags, they talk about this, about how the bus was the most lawless part of school.
Yeah.
And how, like, crazy it was.
Yeah.
And I have, like, countless bus stories, some that I've told, Ten Boob, obviously,
10 Boob
being a
classic.
classic. We'll bring that up on Pod one day if we haven't already.
We already have.
Shout out Ten Boob. I hope you're dead. But my sister has a really good one that I didn't know until my friend Chris Denny, talking like over a decade later, told me the story. He finds out my sister is Tara. Shout out Tara. And he's like, yo, blah, blah, blah. Your sister rode the same bus as me. She broke this kid's nose, yada, yada, yada. I was like, what the hell? And he told me that what happened was my sister, keep in mind, this is how chaotic my siblings and I were, that I did not know this story at all. And clearly I was there. Like we rode the same bus stop, but we went on different buses because they went to a different school than I did. But in ninth grade, my sister got on the bus and this kid, Richie, pantsed her, pulled her skirt down, which, by the way, not chill.
Yeah.
And she
Insane
turned
move.
around. Now, y'all know Tara. She's a nut. She just turned around and pummeled this fool, beat the piss out of this kid, broke his nose on the bus. Just the most hilarious story for me because that happened. She like bludgeoned a child on the bus, then came home and didn't mention it to us.
Yeah.
She beat the shit out of
That's
this
a
kid.
classic ass beater right there.
She just beat the shit out of some kid on the bus, didn't mention it to us at all. And then over a decade go by, and I hit her up. I'm like, did you break some kid's nose on the bus? She's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Told me the whole story. And then we were just talking about it before this podcast, and she told me a little update on Richie. She's like, yeah, he's in jail now. She said, I think he's in jail because she was on a Facebook community group and somebody posted a picture of him and said, this man just stole my car. And then my sister commented, that's Richie blank, blah, blah, blah. He lives in this area and he's in jail. We don't know that it's directly connected to that. But he definitely
I
got
was
caught on a
like, it really
carjack.
feels like it. It
6
really
years
feels
ago.
like it.
So yeah, my sister not only broke this man's nose, but probably put him in jail.
Yeah.
So fuck you, dude.
That's like nemesis behavior.
That's
Yeah.
so sick.
But yeah, we don't condone snitching on this podcast. But the thing is that when you have it coming, you have it coming.
You got
You
to
have it
come.
coming.
Yeah, and that's a lesson we'll take away from Dìdi.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to The Bigger Picture, Fellavision.
The biggest of the pictures.
Yeah, the biggest picture. You can follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe to the pod on Spotify. You can subscribe on YouTube. Drop a comment what your favorite growing up movies. Guys, thanks for fucking hanging out and doing this again. I'm sorry.
We did it again.
We did it again.
Oops, we did it again.
Bop, bop.
All right,
let's
y'all.
wrap.
Peace.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.